Hey, 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 what's going on, YouTube? Uh, yeah, this is journal entry number one. Decided that I don't want to buy an actual journal and write in it. I thought as a almost 23-year-old grown-ass man, I would record myself talking into a microphone alone in my one-bedroom apartment and post on the internet as a form of therapy because my therapist kind of sucks. And I thought about this in the shower and just thought it was a good idea. So I'm gonna do it. If you want to hear me speak, continue watching. If you don't, goodbye. Bye bye. Have fun. Have a good night. How do they used to end Adult Swim TV shows? Bye. Have a good time. With that one Mexican dude exiting the door. I don't know. That's a very fond memory I have. I have serious topics I want to go into on later entries, but for now, I just wanted to cover my shower thoughts, which pertain to shit I've been thinking about for like 4 years straight. If you can't tell, if you're watching this as a random ass person who stumbled upon this from the UK or Europe or Asia or Africa or South America or anywhere else in the world, Australia, it doesn't matter. I am a full-blooded American, absolutely. Don't know why I put on a British accent for that, but yeah, I'm an American. California, born and raised, worst state in the worst country in the world. Um, might be weird hearing an American openly denounce his patriotism. Actually, not anymore. Just because everything's fucked now. I mean, it's been fucked for honestly centuries if you actually think back, but I don't know. Openly fucked. Like, I can't live anymore fucked. It's been like that for a couple of years now, so I don't know. Maybe not be that surprising anymore, but I still think to non Americans it's somewhat surprising because, a lot of the headlines are fucking American people, especially like mid 40 white dads, dads in the white dads in their mid 40s just talking about how amazing America is and the patriotism and everything like that. But yeah, it's not great. I didn't take a college course in this shit. I have no formal education in this subject of patriotism. I don't, that's not a fucking subject, but I don't know. What's that one fucking college class that blue-haired girls take? Uh, shit. Social economic. I don't fucking know. It's a class where you learn about fucking society and everything, and how fucked the world is and how fucked America is. I don't know this shit. My ex-girlfriend took it, and it changed her to be a lot more sensitive, and it made me sad. But that's my only experience with it. Sociology. It's called sociology. If you take sociology, be prepared to get more scared and more easily offended and everything in between. Um, that is why I didn't take that class. I took everything but that fucking class. Anyways, that's not really what I want to talk about. People who took that class, they kind of understand where I'm coming from in a certain sense. But just kind of to the extreme. The main focus is a small part of American society, specifically American, um, that has just kind of been fucked since the 50s, 50s, 60s, 70s, somewhere around there, maybe 40s. I don't actually know. When did cars really take off? Like I knew car. Okay, stop beating around the bush. It's cars and car life and car-centric towns and cities. Um, yeah. Okay. Look, if this is the first time you're hearing about this, it might seem pretty strange to hear a fucking 22-year-old kid in his bedroom at 11:30 at night just ramble on about cars and how he doesn't like them. Because I don't. I don't like cars. You put me next to a car guy, I might piss myself. Because not only do I don't really give a shit about cars, I can appreciate old cars and, car culture. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. But the core idea that our entire fucking country is built around cars. Like, take a step back. Clear your fucking head. And just think for a second. You go outside and you walk like, if you're in a single family home, you go outside, you don't have to walk at all. You just look outside your window or step outside your fucking home. What do you see? You see a road. You see a big fucking road. A two-lane road, right? You follow that two-lane road for like 3 minutes, it leads you to a four-lane road. Okay? With some sidewalks. That's fine. That's not a horrible thing. Um, you get in your car from your house, you leave, you drive to work. Depending on where you work, you might have to take the freeway, right? So you're taking roads for like 5, 10 minutes, and then you get on the freeway for maybe 10 to 30 minutes, right? It's just fucking freeway. It's freeway for so long, and you don't really see anything but large billboards and more lanes and more cars and more car crashes and more deaths and more traffic for fucking I don't know, ever. This might be a young person thing, but I've talked to older folk and they seem to agree. Um, it's the core idea that American cities aren't quote unquote, and remember this term, walkable. Say it with me now, walkable. We don't have walkable cities. It is the main reason why whenever Americans take holidays over to Europe or to Asia or to wherever the fuck they want to go, literally anywhere but America, except for Canada, because Canada mostly for the same has the same exact fucking thing. They feel like they are really in a foreign country because their cities, from the hotel they're staying at or from the Airbnb, they can walk out their house and they see people walking around. They see bustles of fucking people walking around, going to a shop that's 5 minutes away walking distance, going to the fucking pub that's 5 minutes away walking distance. They could go anywhere they want within a short, brisk walk. That's why you see a bunch of fucking Americans obsessed with Asia because like, oh my god, I want to go to Japan. You could walk fucking everywhere. Everywhere is like a 2 minute walk away from everything. I want to walk the entire way of Tokyo. Yeah, of course you fucking do. Not only are you obsessed with anime, but you're fucking obsessed with the culture of Japan. Not because you think, oh my god, anime. It's because you actually you live in America and you actually think that it's a better way of fucking living. No shit, you're fucking obsessed with Japan. Have you ever thought about Europe? Have you ever thought about South America? They have the same shit, but it's not Asian. Are you obsessed with Asian culture or are you obsessed with a better way of living? That's kind of how I gauge it. Cuz I love anime, right? I love Japanese culture. Um to a certain extent, right? Um but I tried getting into Japanese culture specifically cuz that's the main uh source that anime comes from. I just really couldn't. It just didn't seem that much different from any other culture that wasn't American. It's just seemed kind of the same. I'm mostly obsessed with, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I'm mostly interested in European culture just because it just seems the most balanced um, in terms of like walkability, shops, um, a lot less car dependent, the amount of English they speak, and kind of the landscape. And when I say landscape, right, Europe is bigger. Um, Actually, that might not be true. I'm gonna scratch that. Going back, I'm gonna have to edit this. Fuck. God damn, I just wanted to upload this. Anyways, I might still upload this. Fuck it. I don't know if Europe or Asia is bigger in its entirety, but personally am more interested in Europe just because it holds places like Switzerland, um, Ireland, Greenland, Iceland. These places have the most insane views I have ever seen in my life. Um, there's currently a trend going on online of people on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts, surprisingly. Whoever fucking uses that shit, they are splicing together, uh, you know, images of like bustling, shitty American cities where there's a McDonald's in every corner and there's just like power lines and billboards and advertisements and just 4-lane roads everywhere you look. You have a bunch of slides of those kind of images, and then you have an open field in Switzerland that's just full of greens and mountains, and it looks like a fucking fairy tale wonderland. Um, but after you take literally 2 seconds and process what you're seeing, you realize, oh shit, that's real. That's real life. Oh fuck, what am I doing here? Because I don't know about you, the person who's listening to this. I don't know if anyone's fucking listening to this. Or probably not, because I'm uploading this on a separate burner channel that I don't use ever. But just in case you're actually listening to this, and I'm not just using this as like a journal entry, which I am, but just in case you're listening to this, since it's public, I'm imagining you're an American, or you're in at least a city, maybe Canadian, maybe whatever it may be, where you're very unhappy and you fucking go to work and you work 40 to 60-hour work weeks and you drive home and it's just you get in your car in the morning and you drive to work and you stay there and then you drive home and you go to sleep immediately, and that's your entire day, every single day, minus like maybe 1 day off if you're lucky, 2 days off if you're really lucky, right? Um, but that's not the fucking life you want to live. Look up Switzerland. Look up Norway. Look up Finland, dude. I know a lot of old, bald Americans. Okay, I'm talking about like my dad. All right, talking about my uncle. Okay, if you're an old, bald American in his 40s, 50s, I'm talking to you. I want you to genuinely look at your life, look at your colleagues' lives, and don't gauge upon if they're happy at the pub. Okay? Look at your day-to-day lives. Are you genuinely happy with going to work at 4, 5 in the morning? Sometimes 3. I've heard 3 a.m. I wake up and I go to work in the morning. I've heard 2. My dad, for a year, had to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Look, I'm 22, but if I was 42, waking up at 2 to go to work in LA? Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck that. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth that. Okay? The only thing that would be worth that is my family, right? And that's why he did it. And if that's your reason for staying in America, if you have responsibilities here, that's fine. I'm not going to take that away from you, but I know for me, I'm a single dude living on my own, right? I have a cat. Okay? Like, it's different, but it could still relate if you fit in that demographic where you're waking up early in the morning, going to work, working there for 8 to 12 hours every single day for 5 fucking days a week, 6 days a week sometimes. You're going home, driving in your car along the freeway to and fro for a fucking hour, to and back, 1 hour each, so 2-hour round trip. Going to bed, waking up, doing the exact same thing in the morning. Why wouldn't you want to live in a place where you can wake up and go in your backyard and it's a fucking lush landscape of greenery, and mountains. And the mountains have greenery, and it looks like you're in a fucking fairy tale. Who doesn't want something like that? You are not gonna be alive forever. Okay? You're not. I know that sounds dark, but I've come to terms with it. Dude, if you're over the age of like 25, you've come to terms with it. You've been thinking about this shit for years now. It's not like you haven't come to terms with some, that kind of shit. You have. But, the more and more time that passes, the more and more America becomes less sustainable, right? It's not it's not a shy topic to talk about anymore. Um, Biden's fucking everything up, and I'm pretty sure Trump just got banned from running. If I'm not mistaken, if I read that headline correctly, I don't know if the news is kind of fucking morphed nowadays. I don't really trust shit anymore. But I'm pretty sure that was a headline. Look, I'm one of the people that didn't like Trump when they were in office, just because of the news headlines that came. I live in California. Okay, it's a Democratic state. Fucking oh well. Okay, fucking sue me. Okay. But Biden genuinely fucked everything. Okay. I don't mind if if Trump comes back because nothing really bad happened when Trump was in office. All right. I was a Trump hater. Then Biden came. I don't fucking mind Trump no more. But if he was banned, I don't know who the fuck is gonna come back and run this shit. But honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm done. I want to take my fucking cat. I'm gonna go to Europe where they actually care about me. Look, go to Europe. The roads and the cars adhere to the people. I'm going to say that again. The roads and the cars adhere to people. If you're an American right now, you're thinking, how is that even remotely possible? How am I going to get to work in a timely manner if I'm not taking a freeway going 80 to 90 miles an hour for an hour straight? Because I know right now I do that. I go an hour fucking straight going 90, sometimes 100 an hour the entire time, minus like some fucking times where I get backed up, right? Okay, because my work is an hour away. At least when I go that fast. In the fast lane, I'm not fucking doing that in the far right lane, but still, that's what I'm doing, and that's what a lot of other people are doing, just to get to work on time, just to get that extra like 30 minutes of sleep, right? Because I don't want to wake up at fucking 3 a.m. Okay, so when you think of Europeans and you hear the words traffic adheres to the pedestrians, you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, you wait for the pedestrians to cross the road. No, that's not what I mean. Okay, look up a European road. Look up the Netherlands. Ever heard of that? The Netherlands. I'm talking down now because I've straight up like I've researched this shit for 3-4 years now, and it is, oh my god, oh my god. It is so much better as as a community. All right, the streets are open and they're not really streets. I guess the best comparison to make as an American would be, imagine your city and imagine the downtown part of your city, right? So I used to live in Azusa. Um, and I used to go to downtown Azusa a lot, or downtown San Dimas, downtown Covina, whatever it may be, in Southern California. Okay, the entirety of those three cities, not including the downtown, was a bunch of random businesses on street blocks. whether it be a gas station or a sandwich shop or whatever, but they're all separated with their own dedicated parking lots that had anywhere from 10 to 50 fucking spaces for each business, okay? Now imagine, just imagine for a second, if you had a huge building with like, I don't know, like 10 businesses. I know as an American, for me, and you're not going to be shocked when I say this, I see that and I think, oh, that's sketchy. Oh, that's run down. Because as an American, we do have those, but they're in low class areas. Yeah, they're in low class areas. Yeah, they are. And they're usually barbershops, insurance companies, nail salons, really shitty taco shops, stuff like that. In Europe, it is that everywhere. And it is high quality. There is no 50 car park restaurants. There is no fucking crowded 4-lane streets. There is, imagine a normal parking lot, and that is the town square. But that is everywhere you look in Europe, aside from the open fields. That's what Europe is. That's what most European cities look like. Is the downtown areas of America, of American cities, where it is a bunch of shops that you actually like strolling down the streets of and going into every random shop you see because it's quote unquote a novelty in American cities. That's why it's so bustling all the time is downtown American cities, downtown Covina, downtown Azusa, downtown San Dimas. That's everywhere in Europe. And you know what sucks is that it used to be just like that in America. You look at American cities in the 50s. I know, really interesting time in terms of the whole fucking geopolitical era, whatever the fuck. I don't care about that. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of, the city dynamic, it used to be great. It used to be insane. You compare, if you go right now on Google Maps, you find a random fucking street corner, a random street, doesn't matter where it is in America, and you compare it, you find a picture of that exact location from the 50s, you will see just how far American cities have declined. And how shit it is now. And no, I'm not going to blame prices, all right? Because it's been like this for decades. When prices were fine in the 90s, in the 80s, they were still pretty run down. The bustling inner city landscapes were still pretty bad. And it's because car companies took over America. Okay? We used to be just like Europe in our city design, but it got fucked when the car companies took capitalism by the balls and they figured out how to sell cars by the fucking millions. They sold millions more cars every single year. And, city development, city infrastructure, city planning had to compensate for that. There's so many more cars on the road. We have to build bigger roads. We have to build wider roads. There has to be roads everywhere. We have to build a car-centric society because that is how much the fucking car salesman, the companies succeeded. We had to build an entire society built around cars. That is why the leading cause of death in America is getting hit by a car or getting in a car accident. Does that seriously surprise you at this point? Look at car deaths in other countries. I'm not even fucking talking about like Europe anymore. Look at car deaths in any other fucking country, man. And then I see these car dudes, and I'm friends with a couple car dudes, a couple car bros, whatever it may be. And I ask them like, why do you love cars so much? Most of them are like, oh, they're very intricate. It's like they like putting stuff together. They like building. All right. It's not because they like car culture and car-centric areas. But the people that do like car-centric areas and car culture and car industry, stuff like that, I kind of pick their brain, and they don't really understand European car culture. It's not really, it doesn't compute with them. Those type of people, when they think of cars, at least to my knowledge and to what I've experienced, what I've heard, it's more or less, I like drag racing. I like racing. I just like looking at cars. Um, Driving cars is my favorite thing. I like being on the freeway at 3 o'clock in the morning, going fast. I just like driving around. I like cruising. Cruising is my favorite thing in the world. I just like driving around to clear my head. That's perfectly fine. I like driving around to clear your head. That's amazing. But you could do that anywhere. Um, Most places allow for that. If that's your main focus, you gotta live here. Um, I get it. You know, it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave America. I still live here. It's because it's hard to leave. There's a lot of factors. A lot of hoops you have to jump through. I don't leave my family. My family loves it here. You can't just leave them. I'm gonna be lonely. There's nothing for me over there for me except for like a better life in terms of work to life balance and living. But just the whole family thing and just like I don't want to leave here. This is my home. I understand. Um, but there comes a time in someone's life, and I think that time for me is coming up very shortly, and I've been looking forward to it for the past couple of years. But it comes a time where you gotta really learn who you are, and if the person you are, if you listening to this are someone who is very comfortable in America, you've visited other countries, and you've determined, yeah, it's not really for me. I'm okay. I've listened to this stupid piece of shit ramble on about car-centric society in America and how shit it is for fucking an hour, and I've just been thinking he's a retard the entire time. That's fine. I don't mind. Genuinely, like, if you completely disagree, that's cool. Leave a comment. I'd be super happy to discuss. I'm not the type of person to be like, if you don't agree with me, go fuck yourself. I'm not that type of person. Trust me. Um, do you like whatever you want to do? I genuinely like. I salute you for sticking with your guns because I have a lot of people that I know that just jump on the bandwagon, um, especially when I explain this shit to them. Um, and it's my goal to kind of open people's eyes, but you could tell when someone's jumping on a bandwagon, right? You could tell when someone's just hopping on a trend. That's not what this is, right? At the end of the day, this is a journal. This is stuff I've been thinking about for the last 3, 4 years straight. I'm just getting it out and putting it online just because I don't want to write it down. I would save it and just not put it online, but I just think I think it'd be interesting if random people on the internet would listen to this and actually give their 2 cents. If that doesn't happen, if it gets like 10 views and no comments, that's also fine. I just want to say that I tried to get some responses from random ass people just to see their response, because I know this is mainly gonna hit the ears of American audiences. And since this is a longer video, if you're listening to this like on a drive, on a run, whatever it may be, uh, hey, what's up? This is super cool. Uh, I need to pee. Yep, that's my message to you. Anyways, I think that is gonna do it for uh, Journal 1, whatever the fuck. I'm just gonna upload this as is. I'm not gonna edit it. If Europe is bigger than Asia or vice versa, I don't really care. I don't know. That was my whole thing. That's why I want to edit it, but it's not gonna happen. Jesus, that's not gonna happen. Uh, Goodbye.